So, hello fellow coin collectors, how you going today? My name is Glenn, and today we have some coins from Cyprus. And today's video is going to be about the last coins that were issued under the pound system. So this time, £1 equals 100 cents. They didn't actually issue any pound coins for circulation, but they only issued cent coins. So all these are cents, even though they actually don't have the word cent on it. They just have 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 and 50, but they are cents. So these coins up the top are the coins that were used when the currency was equivalent to 1,000 mils. As you can see, this is 50 mils, has grapes on it. And here is one issued by under the British, 50 mils, 1955. And 1955 was when the pound was decimalised from £1 equals 20 shillings equals 9 piastres. So the piastres was a derivative of the Turkish coinage that was used before 1879. And in 1963 they actually issued Republic coins, so those are these coins here. But I'll do another video on those ones. We'll just talk about the cent coins. So these cent coins were issued in nickel brass for the 1 to 20 cent and copper nickel for the 50 cent coin. So with an Australian equivalent value at the time, it's pretty much like 25 cents equals $1 Australian. So this was pretty much $2. And I find these 50 cents are actually harder to get in circulate, to buy off the internet. They're not in circulation because of their high value. A lot of them would have been returned to banks, but these smaller denominations, lower value, a lot of people would have kept them or actually lost them. Also, another harder coin to get is actually the Bird series of 20 cents, which is the first coin that was issued. And in 1989 they changed the design to Zeno of Cittium. So he's different from the Byzantine Emperor Zeno, and he actually lived from 334 to 262 BC, and he was a Greek philosopher, and he was a founder of the Stoic school of philosophy. So I believe that Septimus Severus was a follower, or was it Marcus? No, Marcus Aurelius was a follower. He's actually wrote the book. It was pretty much his own diary. But anyway, let's have a look at the individual coins and see what's actually on them. So another thing you need to see is that we have a filled one and an unfilled two. So this is pretty much common on all these coins. The coin with the unfilled numbers were issued between 1983 and 1985. And the ones with the unfilled numbers were issued from 1985 until they stopped being issued in 2004. And we changed by the euro in 2008. So they've been using the euro for 11 years, which is a long time to not actually see these coins in circulation. Okay, so I have toned down the light a bit just so you can see the image a lot better. So on this image you can see it's pretty much a stylized bird, and the bird actually looks like a peacock. So you've got the large tail feathers that are coming out the back, and you've got the legs there. Yeah, it looks like a leg there, and the head is up here. And also this is probably olives, which are pretty common on Cyprus. And this is the lowest denomination that was used for all the time this currency was in circulation after probably 1985. And all these coins are actually high mint coins, so there really isn't much of a low mintage coin that you can actually find for the 1 cent denomination. Generally, Cyprus only issued coins when they actually needed them. So they actually issued high numbers, and they waited for that to be drained, and then when they needed to mint new coins, they minted another one, and that would have lasted a few years. So that's generally how the actual minting of these coins actually went. And this image is actually from a jug or birch rome, where from the Cyprus archaic period, so it's a period before the actual Greek colonization of Cyprus, which is pretty much the same time as they actually colonized Crete. So beforehand, there were actually pre-Greeks on Cyprus, and that's where this design comes from. But we're not too sure what the language was, because it's really not defined. So on the 2 cent, we have two stylized goats, and this is the design actually comes from the 13th century BC, so it's about 3,300 years old, and it's taken from a shallow bowl. So a bowl's you can see images if you type in on Google Cypriot images from 1300 BC, something like that, and you'll come up with this image. So as you can see, it's pretty much stylized, so it's more like modern art these days. So long body, you have an eye, there's a head, and here are the antlers. And pretty much both of these designs are pretty much just opposites of each other, but you get differences, like this one has a folded leg, this one has barbs coming out the back. So this one would have been the actual bottom of the bowl, and the sides would have been where the coin was. And here we have the 5 cent. So this is an actual bull's head with two flowers down the bottom, and this is actually from a 14th century silver bowl. It says it has wishbone handles, so that would have been put into the actual side, and it's in the Cyprus Museum in Nicosia. So pretty much if you want to see examples of these, it's a good thing to actually go to Cyprus Museum in Nicosia, and they would have some type of example of these type of artworks that predominate Cypriot history. Okay, now the 10 cent is something a bit different. Well, it looks like it might actually be something from, I don't know, the archaic period or the Greek period. This is actually a modern type of pottery that they actually manufacture on Cyprus. So this is a modern clay pottery. It has birds, flowers, and it's probably derived from a mixture of ancient and Turkic pottery, which Turkish pottery is actually quite attractive, so is ancient pottery. And this one is they're all made in Fleni village, which is in pretty much central Cyprus, and they actually make a lot of different designs, and actually quite attractive. I would actually like to get an example of one, because one thing I like to collect is actually pottery. But pottery is actually very fragile and very expensive, so that's why I've stuck the coins, because they're actually a lot easier to transport. If you have a look, it looks quite nice. And if you ever go to Cyprus, I would recommend you actually go to this village and check out their pottery, because it's something to behold. The excellent workmanship you need to actually do this is awesome. And just look on the internet, look on Pottery of Cyprus, and you actually see examples of this come up. So as I said, there are two different types of 20 cent coins. So this is the first one that was issued from 1983 to 88, and it actually has the pied wheat eater. Okay, and it's pretty much a bird that occurs on Cyprus, but also occurs on other areas of the Mediterranean, and it only nests on Cyprus, and it migrates to Northeast Africa and the Middle East. and as you can see, it's actually on an olive tree. So here's the olive leaves, and here's an olive. And if you're on Cyprus and you don't know this bird, oh, maybe you should actually try and look for it, because bird watching is also very interesting. So as I said before, in 1989 they actually issued a different 20-cent coin. So I reckon that they actually issued this coin because they wanted to keep in line with the other coins which have a historical theme. Even the 10-cent is pretty much like a historical type pottery theme. But this one has a Zeno of Citrion, and as you can see, here's a portrait of his face. So, but we actually don't really know what it actually looks like, because there's no real historical marble carving or any type of artwork that actually depicted his face. Most likely because he was a philosopher and he just wasn't interested in that. But that's just a guess. Maybe he was interested in art and he found it as a relief for the way society was. But if you're going to collect the 2 coins from Cyprus, you need to get both of them. And as you can see, they're pretty much the same shape and width and thickness. So they're 7.75 grams, 27.25 millimeters, 1.8 millimeters thick. So these would have circulated right up until 2008. So I would say these are both common coins if you had used the coinage during the time that the pound was in circulation. And the last coin, which is pretty much my favourite, it is the 50 cent. And as you can see, it has an image which is also based on a previous coin. So this coin was actually from the Kingdom of Marion, and it would have been a silver coin. I have to look it up, and it depicts the abduction of Europa by Zeus. I was thinking of Zeno, God. So this is Europa, and Zeus actually was transformed into a bull by the looks of it. And here we have some writing. So this writing is actually the Cypriot syllabary. So it's actually which is a script that derived from the Cypro-Minoan syllabary, and is also derived from Linear A. And Linear A is pretty much a language of the Minoans, but it has not been deciphered. So this is actually written in 2 languages. We have the Akkado-Cypriot dialect of Greece, which is an ancient dialect, no longer spoken. The Greek dialect is actually a more modern, but pretty much a different dialect from the ancient one. And there's also a native language called Ito-Cypriot, which is, well, we know it's not an Indo-European, so it's not related to Greek, but we have no idea what it actually is. And I'm not too sure if this is actually the Greek or the Ito-Cypriot, but it pretty much says Pasi Timokaribose. So Pasi Timokaribose just means King Timocharis. So one of the other things that I'm very interested in is actually ancient languages, pretty much Sumerian, but also the languages that were spoken on Crete and Cyprus before the Mycenaeans actually conquered the area. So what is the future of these coins? Well, currently you can actually get these coins for quite cheap. They're actually not too expensive to get. You can get a whole set like this for probably less than $10. And on eBay, there actually is no demand for them. So pretty much, if you're interested in getting the whole set, you can actually get them for less than $10. That's not including postage, that's just the coin prices. But they are a good take back of Cypriot history. and it's very interesting to actually get them. So in the future, I actually will do the coins of the previous series that were actually used in Cyprus. The last series I'm going to do is the ones issued under the British government, because they're a bit more expensive. But I hope you enjoy these coins and this video. I know it's a bit long, but I just want to explain a few things about the actual coins themselves. And I hope that you enjoy coin collecting, and thank you very much for watching. Have an awesome coin collecting time, people. Okay, bye bye.